In this video, we're gonna learn what is loops. In computer programming, a loop is a sequence of instruction that is continuously repeated until a certain condition is reached. Let's think. If we wanna run a program continuously until we give a certain condition, when it reaches that condition, the loop must be stopped. Means the program that is running continuously must be stopped at that the given condition. So in bash scripting, we have majorly three kinds of loops. They are for loops, while loop, and until loop. So let's learn about that practically. Here I have made script containing all these three loops. Okay, examples of all the three loops. Don't care about this for loop, this bracket, open curly bracket, and this close curly bracket. This is function. I will talk about this later. Till then, ignore this. Just you have to focus on the code inside this function. This, and this. Okay. Yeah. First of all, we're gonna talk about for loop. Like we have written for I in sequence 10. For I in sequence 10. Sequence 10 means from 1 to 10, and I is a variable. I'm defining a variable I, okay, which have value from 1 to 10. According to this statement, for I in sequence 10 means I has the value from 1 to 10. Do echo I. It will print all the value 1 to 10. If you want to print 1 to 10, what we have to do is we have to write echo 1, echo 2, echo 3, echo 4 till echo 10. But this is the lengthiest process. What if we have to print a number from 1 to 1000? Is it an efficient way to write echo 1, echo 2 till echo 1000? It's not the efficient way. So what we have is we have loop. We can use this loop to write short statement and works like the same long statement. Okay, you can see here, uh, if we call this function, for calling a function, like if I want to run this particular code, not these all things, what you have to do is you have to call this for loop. Okay, I have commented this, I have commented all the others. Okay, so that other will not work, only this portion will work. Now I'm going to run this for loop, save it. Okay, now bash file name. Okay, you can see it's printing from 1 to 10. Okay, now what if you want to print in a single line? Just you have to use, instead of echo, you have to use print format, that is printf. You can call it printf, print function. Okay, give a space so that the next number must have a space, so that we can determine the number is 1 or 2, 3, not the 12. Okay, now let's run it. You can see after that my ps1 is also gonna printed here. What we can do is we can do this. You can give this here. Oh, it's printed from here to here. Like the format, actually this works for the format, how in which format you want. We can give a condition. If I is equal to 10, what we can do is echo. Okay, that will give a line space 5. Okay, now you can see this. Also we have to give and space here. So that number will print separately. You can see here number is printed separately if you have given the space. Now you have got how to use for loop. What you have to do is for loop, in for loop what you have to do is you have to write just the syntax for, and here the condition. Okay, here the condition, and then after you have to write do. You can write the do in the next line, or you can also write in the same line just by putting a semicolon and write do. Okay, now let's talk about while loop. While loop work for a true statement. Okay, if the statement that you're given is true, you can simply write while true semicolon do and your program, and then at last you have to write done. Then what will happen is, if the value is already true, that we have given true, then the program between the do and done will run continuously infinitely since it's always having the true value. Okay, now if we put a statement that will be true for a certain time, okay, certain time or a certain repetition, like here I have first declared a variable, that is a is equal to 0. And if you are thinking about what is that local, I have used it to initiate that variable a for this function only. Means inside a function, if you wanna declare a variable and it must work inside that function only, not outside the function, then you have to use the local keyword. Okay, that's why I used it local. No need to focus now on the local, just focus on, I have put a is equal to 0. I have assigned a value 0 to a. Okay, since I have not talked about that function earlier, so I can't talk about that local. In the functions chapter we will cover that. Now the value of a is 0. Now what I have done is, I have initiated a loop, that is while loop, while a is smaller than 7. Okay, at first what we have, we have a is equal to 0, which is actually smaller than 0, so the value is true, the statement is true. So the code inside this while loop between do and that done will run continuously. Okay, now what I have done is, I have done echo hello, it will print hello, and then at the next line what it will do is, it will assign a new value to a. And what is the new value? In new value I have incremented the value of a with 1. Means the value of a, what was the previous value of a? It was 0. Now I have given the value 1. Okay, 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. Now the loops again start from the first line. It will check a is whether smaller than or the greater than 7. Now what is the value? A is 1, which is actually smaller than 7, so it will again run the code. Now there will be a situation when the value of a will be 7. After adding 1 1 1, the value will be 7, and at that time when the loop reaches at the statement a is equal to 7, which is false for this one, a is smaller than 7, since a is actually equal to 7, not smaller than 7, so the value will be false. When the value gets false, the loop will stop. This will not gonna work for the next. Okay, let's check it out. You can see it's printed hello 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 7 times. Okay, it printed hello 7 times. Now if we increase here it by 2, what will happen? First time it will run when a is equal to 0. At the second time it will have a is equal to 2, then also it is smaller than 7, so it will again run. Then now this time it add 2 more, then it will have a is equal to 4, which is smaller than 7, then again it will work. Now again it will have the value 2, that is 7, that is 6. 2 plus 2 plus 2 is equal to 6. Okay, now it will again work with, since it is smaller than 7. Now it will again add 2. Now the value of a is 8, which is greater than 7, so it will stop. So let's check how much time it prints. You can see it's printing 4 times. First for a is equal to 0, a is equal to 2, a is equal to 4, and a is equal to 6. When the value of a becomes 8, it stopped it, since it's false for the statement that we have given for the while loop initiation. Okay, now let's talk about until loop. While loop and until loop work similarly, but for the opposite cases. Like while loop was working for the true statement, but until loop will work for the false statement. Okay, it will work for the false statement. Now I have initiated a value a is equal to 0. Now what I have done is, until a is greater than 3, until a is greater than 3, you have to print echo by, and then I have assigning the value 1 more to that a. Okay, so at the first time what will happen? At the first time the value of a is 0, which is actually not greater than 3. Okay, so it is a false statement, so the loop will work since it works on the false statement only. So at the first time it will work and print by and have the value 1, since 1 is added. Now again when it comes at start, it will check the value. Now the value of a is 1, which is also not greater than 3. This is also the false statement. Okay, so it again run the same and print by. Now again it will assign the value 3, which is actually equal to 3. Okay, not greater than 3, so it also false. It's also false. So it will again print the by and then again assign the value 4, and 4 is actually greater than 3, so it is a true value, and for true value until loops doesn't works, so it will stop here. Okay, let's check it out. You can see it's printed for a is equal to 0, a is equal to 1, a is equal to 2, a is equal to 3, but when a is equal to 4, it is actually greater than 3, that is true statement. It stop it. Okay, stop it. Now you have understand what is while loop, for loop, and that all the things. Okay, now I'm going to introduce a new thing that you can use in the loops, that is break. Okay, like if you give a condition, that is if a is equal to, if a is equal to 3, the loop must be break. Okay, what you have to write is break and 5. I am giving value again 1, also uncommenting this so that this will work, and commenting this one. Now it worked for 3 times. How? What we have wrote here is, when the value of a is equal to 3, at first time what is the value? What is the value of a? That is 0. For 0 it worked nicely, then for 1 it worked, then for 2 it also worked. Okay, but when the value comes 3 and it matches the value of a is equal to 3, and we have given the condition in between, that is if a is equal to 3, then what you have to do is you have to break the loop. Okay, then it will break the loop, it will stop the loop there only. You can use this break similarly in these two also. Okay, so this much for today. Thank you.